Chapter 380, The Same Courier Station. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. After leaving Sword Sanctum, Zhang Yuochen returned to the courier station of Marshall Market in the 7th district, not knowing what had happened afterward. When Zhang Yuochen entered the courier station of Marshall Market, he suddenly heard a noisy crowd. He looked over and in the distance, saw Zihanshaw, Zhu Yingru and other gifted students of South Cloud Commandery. They were actually living in the Nanting Courier Station. At this moment, they were standing in the middle of the spacious martial arts arena and measuring the courier station with their eyes. Among them, a younger gifted student shouted with a surprised, "Wow! It's indeed a courier station of the School of the Martial Market. It's so magnificent. East Region Saint City is a real holy land for martial arts practice. I must enter the Saint Academy. I will stay here forever and never go back." Even if they are gifted students of South Cloud Commandery, for most of them, it was their first time to come to East Region Saint City. They were shocked by its prosperity. Even a courier station was more splendid than a grand palace. Most of the people were determined to live here and became permanent residents of East Region Saint City. It seemed that being a permanent resident of East Region Saint City was a kind of supreme pride. Zihanshaw crossed her arms and stood proudly. Seeing those junior fellow apprentices and junior sister apprentices who had not seen much of life, she showed disdain in her eyes and said, "If you want to stay in East Region Saint City forever, you have to be able to buy a mansion. As far as I know, the cheapest mansion costs at least 2 million pieces of spiritual crystals. As for the mansion in the 7th district, you could not possibly buy one with 10 million pieces of spiritual crystals." Zihanshaw, an outstanding talent of a half-saint family, had been visited East Region Saint City. So, he had some understanding of East Region Saint City. Hearing Zihanshaw's words, the enthusiasm of those talented students almost died out. A mansion of East Region Saint City was too expensive. Even if their martial cultivation reached the heaven realm and they had worked hard for decades, they would probably still be unable to afford it. Furthermore, even if they could earn several million pieces of spiritual crystals, they would rather spend them on training. No one would randomly buy a mansion. So it was almost impossible for a warrior in the Heaven Realm to buy a mansion in East Region Saint City. Zihanshaw spared a glance at Zhu Yingru and said proudly, "Our Zi family is a half-saint family, so we have many houses in East Region Saint City. Before we arrived here, our master had said that as long as I could become a saint of the Saint Academy, I could get one of the mansions." Hearing the words, those gifted students were all surprised, and they walked closer to Zihanshaw, before they tried to start flattering him. "Eldest brother is indeed powerful and definitely an inheritor of a half-saint family. We are far below you level. From now on, eldest brother, please give me support in East Region Saint City." Especially those talented female students, who were adoringly stared at Zihanshaw, sighed with emotion. A half-saint family is profound and deep-seated. It actually had power in East Region Saint City. On the contrary, Zhu Yingru was very calm. Ever since seeing that Zhang Yuochen defeated Zihanshaw, she was very disappointed at Zihanshaw. It was just a half-saint family. In East Region Saint City, there were many more of it. He at least had to become an inheritor of a powerful saint family to be worthy for me. Zhang Yuochen just cast a glance in the distance and shook his head. He walked inside the gate, heading toward Jitoad Palace. Someone from the group saw Zhang Yuochen and shouted, "Eldest brother, senior sister apprentice Zhu, look, Zhang Yuochen is also living in this courier station." Those gifted students all looked at Zhang Yuochen with disdain clear in their eyes. "I'm actually living in the same courier station with those hillbillies, which really degrades my identity." Zihanshaw thought so in his mind. He stopped smiling and just hummed. Zhu Yingru frowned. She had a bit indescribable feeling inside her heart. She did not hate Zhang Yuochen. However, she was very disappointed in him. Zhang Yuochen did not bother talking to them. He passed through the martial arts arena and returned to his room. "I must keep practicing and try my best to reach the advanced stage of the Heaven Realm as soon as possible." Zhang Yuochen went into the internal space of time and space spinal and sat in the middle with his legs crossed. He cleared his mind. took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He ran exercises to fully absorb the divine dragon strength of the Dragon Pearl. In Sword Sanctum, although Zhang Yuochen only fought with Lu Fanshan for one move, he could clearly feel the powerful strength of Lu Fanshan. Lu Fanshan's cultivation must have reached the medium state of the Heaven Realm, which is 3 realms higher than mine. If I fight with him without using the martial soul and the spiritual power, I will lose for sure. The powerful martial soul and spiritual power were Zhang Yuochen's last important card. However, as an inheritor of Sword Sanctum, did Lu Fanshan not have his last card? So, if there was a real fight, Zhang Yuochen would not be sure that he could defeat Lu Fanshan. At present, he had to increase his cultivation as quickly as possible. Only if he reached the advanced stage of the Heaven Realm, his strength could be increased, so that he would be more confident to fight against the top talents of the Eastern region. There were more than 5,000 drops of blue vital essence floating in his Chi Sea, which was like a sky full of sparkling stars. God marks appeared one after another on the Chi Sea wall. Some had a human body and a dragon head. Some had a human body and a snake nail. Some had 3 heads and 6 arms. With the running of exercises, the God marks seemed to be alive, turning into illusory images of gods and infusing into Zhang Yuochen's vital essence. Every drop of vital essence was infused into an illusory image of God. From afar, it was like a god suspended in a bubble, emitting sacred light. Prebiotic blue sky. Zhang Yuochen ran the 4th level exercise of the scripture of Emperor Ming's Empyrean. A vortex appeared in his Chi Sea, making drops of vital essence start spinning. Suddenly, the speed of the vessel of spiritual blood absorbing the divine dragon strength doubled. 20 days later, the number of the vital essence in Zhang Yuochen's Chi Sea was 9,700 drops. Close to 10,000 drops. If Zhang Yuochen had 3 more days, he would be confident that he could reach the advanced stage of the Heaven Realm. Unfortunately, the first round of the Saint Academy's examination took place today. Zhang Yuochen had to stop practicing and walked out of the internal space of time and space spinal. Only 6 or 7 days had passed in reality, while 20 days had passed in the time and space spinal. In the morning, the breeze was cool. Mist was rising. Vermilion overhanging eaves and colored glaze tiles could be seen vaguely in the distance among the fog. Juanmook Singerling, Seek Sinkong, and Chang Kiki had waited outside long ago. They were wearing neat silvery martial robes, which made them look very vigorous and energetic. Seeing that Zhang Yuochen had walked out, everyone's eyes suddenly lightened up. Even Lei Jing, whose cultivation was very profound, also stared at Zhang Yuochen deeply. He asked, "Zhang Yuochen, does your cultivation reach to another level?" Although Zhang Yuochen's cultivation did not reach another level, due that God's marks were integrated with his vital essence in his body, it became more mysterious and strange. Every drop of his vital essence was like those of a god's. It was because of this that they also felt strange, thinking of that Zhang Yuochen had reached another realm. Of course, Zhang Yuochen's strength was indeed increased greatly. Zhang Yuochen smiled and said, "I haven't even reached the mid-stage of the Heaven Realm for too long. How can I break through to the advanced stage of the Heaven Realm that fast?" Hearing this, Seek Sinkong and Chang Kiki felt relieved. Chang Kiki patted his chest and said, "I'm scared to death." "Luckily, you haven't reached another level. Otherwise, it's just too crushing and overwhelming. I have hard been refining the dragon's blood. Till now, I've just refined 1,800 drops of vital essence,